Good evening.
Utkal University. Friends, we have with us Dr. Swati Podosi Madam,
Good evening.
who has more than 2 decades of experience in the area of HR and behavioral science. She is a certified NLP master, certified advanced life coach. She is also a corporate trainer of many reputed companies of India. Currently, she is the vice president and advisor of Toran Center for Human Development and Neuro-Linguistic Research. Madam, welcome to DDC Utkal University. Madam, class is yours.
Good evening, sir. Thank you so much for your kind, introduction. That was very kind of you. So, there's a query or something in the chat box already. Okay, so someone wants to know about the next class. I think sir would be in a better position.
Our SSDC classes are going on from today.
Okay.
This is the first class.
Oh yeah, I thought so that this is the first class. And
the first class, madam will take 2 classes. Okay.
Yeah, thank you so much, sir.
There will be no next class. Okay.
Okay. I hope to finish this topic in this class itself.
Okay.
So good evening and thank you very much, Professor, for that kind introduction. So how many of you know the topic why I'm here today? What is the topic of today's discussion? How many of you know? Okay, good evening, everybody. So you can put it in the chat box or you can tell us. Okay, I think Professor, somebody wants to know about FM class. So, okay, profile creation, preparing of CV. I love that name, Hangout. So, Hangout wants to speak. You are free to speak, Miss or Mr. Hangout. Wouldn't want to go wrong with the gender. So, what is it that you want to say? When you raise your hand, so you want to say something, you put something in the chat box. Okay, preparing of CV and professional profile. So CV, when I say CV or when your professor says CV or if anyone says CV, what exactly that comes to your mind? What is it about? Any ideas? What is it about you? Yes. So is it about, let me, okay, Mr. Subrata has written about you. And Aparna has written current data about you. So is it about telling which is my favorite actor, which is my favorite actress, who is my favorite, comedy star, or was it? What is it? Represent yourself. Okay. Your work experience. Wonderful. Biodata of myself. Professional background. Education. Okay. Kill. I'm getting some wonderful, lovely answers there. And thank you, everyone. Though I presume that the flavor of the day nowadays is to keep the videos off. And in case anybody wants to keep it on, I'm perfectly fine with it. It'll be a happy moment to see a couple of you also. So, formal introduction of yourself. It is a document applying for job. Okay. So let me just put in a very, in a nutshell, what is it that we, okay, yes, our personal bio and introduction. So it's a combination of both your personal as well as your professional. So curriculum vitae, the full form or small, we say CV, and many a times we also use its synonym, which is a resume or resume, as you would want to pronounce it. Though they are different at certain levels, but still many a times in many conditions, we mean the same thing when we are talking of. So what is it is what we are going to talk of today. I have some wonderful answers. You all are quite clued in into what is a CV. Now my question is, what all should be there on your CV? Okay, you can allow for video. Yes, you can switch on your video. It is discontinued by the host? It may be because of the network something. You can, switch on the video. Is it? Let me just see. How can I help you there? Okay. So, when we talk of CV, trust me, Like Professor was sharing, now I'm a coach, and I also started young, like you all. Many a times I used to feel very disappointed that I would give my uh, CV, and still people would not call me, and I wouldn't understand what is going on. And as a youngster, we didn't have connect classes like these nowadays, like you have. And I would be like, oh my God, I have told everything about myself. I have done this, I have done that. How much I have told them? Why are they not calling me? Yes, a CV is a comprehensive review of your life work. And there are certain things which we mention in a CV, and there are certain things which we have to mandatorily have in the structure of CV. You can tell anything. Just a question. If I want you all to write about yourself, your life till date, let me also guess that maybe the average age of people here, if I count myself out, I'm not adding my age, would be around what? 23, 24? Am I close? 23 to 27, maybe? The young one? Yeah, the millennials as we call it. Therefore, I said I will keep my age out of it. Otherwise, वो बहुत बड़ा figure हो जाता. So 23, 24, 25, let us say average 25 years. And if your memory goes back to when you were a 6-year-old or a 7-year-old, and if I ask you to write something about yourself, how many pages would you take? If you want to share everything, even comprehensive about, your life, how many pages do you think you will take? 5 pages? Okay, it is 1 or 2 pages, Debashish, or half? Okay, I'll go with 1 or 2. Okay, Beauty is saying less than one. How can it be less than one, bache? I mean, are you going with paper saving and half a page? Okay, okay, half a page. So in half a page, will you be able to tell everything to a recruiter? What is your objective? What is your profile? What is your, uh, you know, highlights of your career? What is your personal achievement? What is your professional achievement? What's your grade? Everything you can do in half a page. Wow, I love this 4 pages. Yeah, and as you grow old, as you reach my age, we can actually write a book on our experiences and what we've done in life. Okay. So how will you decide what do you want to write there? Minimum 2 pages. Now today I'll tell you in 1 page. 1 page, structured manner. How can you? So it can go to 2 to 3 pages in detail. Today we will see the first glimpse of how to make a profile. Because when I get a profile from someone, I'm also as a consultant recruiter to a couple of companies. And if I have to go through 20, 30, 40 CVs or profiles, would I be sitting and reading it for what? How many hours? So today we will talk on how to make a smart CV or profile, whichever way you want to call it, so that what you want to tell the world gets to know. So we are going to talk of preparing CV as well as your professional profile on LinkedIn. So CV is your ticket to a chance at a fulfilling career. The adage, you never get a second chance to make a first impression, is never truer than when you submit your CV. Because this is likely the first glimpse of you that employer will get. Make it an impressive one. A great resume or CV, whichever you choose to call, can open a door, but an inferior one can just as quickly close one. So remember, the minute you give that paper to a recruiter, your first trip to your job kingdom has started. A lot of kids tell me, ma'am, once I get the job interview, once I sit in front of them, it's going to be like I would be the best. I said, but for that once to sit there, once to face them, what is the first thing that needs to go? Which they would like is your CV. In NLP, we say something known as selectional restrictional violation, which is like things that can't talk or can't see. We say, have you ever heard this? आंखें बोलती हैं. किसी ने यार सुना है आंखें बोलती हैं? Anybody here has heard आंखें बोलती हैं? I don't know. Pen speaks. Do they really speak? Do they really speak? Do they have a language? We are saying, na, your eyes are speaking to me. Your smile is speaking to me. Yeah. Eyes express. They don't verbally speak. Hindi film songs mein to, I think, beta, every part of the body speaks. I mean, all inanimate part of the body, Hindi film songs, I don't know how many of you follow, they speak. In the same manner, your CV speaks. Eyes express. And then we perceive it. So, in the same manner, I would say your paper, that CV, is going to speak. It's going to be your dialogue with the recruiter. Yes, Ashutosh, you have a question. Let me talk to Ashutosh before we proceed. Can you unmute yourself? Should I unmute you? Okay, I have asked you to unmute. If you can, please do.
Hi,
Hi, Ashutosh has asked me. No, nothing. I mean, your hand was up. So, okay, I speak. I know. I get that. All in the English songs also nowadays, I have started hearing a lot of such things. In the same way, Aditi, I love this. I really love this. CV पे ऐसा केस नहीं है बेटा. Your CV will only speak what you have written there. The recruiter is not going to perceive anything or read between the lines. What you write is what he or she will interpret. So we say it is your first introduction to the real-time world. So when we say resume, they are different. And having said that, in day-to-day work world, they are always complementing each other. Sometimes we say resume, sometimes we say CV. Primarily the length and what is included and what each is used for is the difference. Oftentimes the words are used interchangeably to mean the same thing. Resume, 1 or 2 page summary of your education, skills and experience. Brief and concise, no more than a page or 2. Curriculum vitae can be longer, at least 2 pages and a more detailed synopsis. So now you understand when somebody is asking you for a resume, stop at 2 pages. And if somebody is asking for you for a CV, then you can go at length and show it to them. I'll show you because, nowadays anybody can, tell that, what is that? Copyright issue, right? That's a big thing in today's world. Copyright issue. Because we are talking of CV and resume, I'm showing you my CV and my resume or profile, whatever you would want to call, to give you a fair idea of what exactly it is that I'm talking about. So which one is which? So this is my profile or resume as we call it, which is quite concise. This. This is my brief profile, what I am, what have I done, what is it that I'm interested in, and my personal details. So this is my profile or my resume that you may call. Now this is my CV. So if you look at my CV, I mean, I don't know how long it is. I think it's a 5-page CV. So if you look at it, it is everything. Each job that I've done, how many years I have been with them, what is the role that I have played in each job, right? Everything is mentioned here. And if you look at the heading, it's like academic qualification, academic achievement, current corporate and academic association, award certifications, professional memberships and jury. So it's like going into detail. So this is basically, from start till date. What did I do when I passed out my MBA in the year 1999? How many of you were born then? Okay, wrong question. It will remind me of my age. Don't answer. Every question is not for answering. And when I started in 1999, this is unfair. You don't have to tell me you were just 2 years old. You know how old you are making me feel, Ashish? Any which way, God bless you. Till today, what am I doing? Yeah, Aditi is happy about telling me that when you started working, I was still in my dream world. So good. I will share. I'll send it to Professor. Let me check whom to send. No problem. I'll send my CV, my profile, because those are my own copyright things. No issues there. So Yeah, they can. Any which way, Subrat, I was old enough to go to a disc and also do a job. Thank you for that. So I was not a superhuman. So from then till today, being vice president of a company, everything is chartered. So that is a CV. So this is the difference between your resume and a CV. You need to understand these small differences because if we are talking about something, we need to. Now, this is a page you can take a screenshot of because this is very important. This is where we go wrong. बनाते बहुत अच्छा है. We do everything wonderfully. Where do we miss the P's and Q's? Are these 5 things? Please let it be clear. Let the font, the typing throughout be clear. It should be so clear that the one look and the person should know what exactly are you talking about. Proofread for spelling and grammar, consistent with punctuation, no personal pronouns. I, me, you, she, no. The correct way of writing is you proofread, you spell, grammar, consistency, everything. Then comes the consent. Write content what you want the recruiter to know. Remember, for different people, different organizations, you may have to make multiple CVs in the same format as given to you by the college or by any organization. The content has to be right for the recruiter. Concise heading. As nowadays we send resume mostly by email, it's important that the subject line is concise and to the point. Consistent with the position. Specific to the position you're applying for, use keywords from job description. Good question. Once I rejected a candidate because of spelling. Yeah, spelling mistake is a huge thing, my dear. And not only spelling mistake, trust me. When we go on and on and on, people get kind of bored from which line to which line should I jump? And they will stop reading your CV. They will just not read your CV. So if I show you my CV or profile, if you see, do you think this is clear enough for anyone to give a glance in a minute and know who I am? Wow, somebody made a line on the screen. Anyway, you think that, yeah, we can't do. So I asked you a question. You think this is very clear for you to know if I send you this profile or this CV to know who I am with a quick glance? Yes or no? All of you should make something like this of 2 pages. Even if I'm running between meetings, I should have a quick, and if you look at this, I haven't used anything personalized. I've just given a data. I've just given an information. Has been part of, was part of, is doing this, is doing this, is doing this. There's nothing like I am, this is, that is. Yes, because CV shows someone's personality in a short duration of time. And when CVs we are talking of, the person who gets it is also expecting it to be something which is very concrete. So I'm showing you a video. I hope the sound runs. It is directly from YouTube. Because it's a YouTube video, I'm showing it directly on YouTube. Tell me, a couple of you on the chat, if you can hear it. So, wait, let me just unmute. Can you all hear it? Yeah? Yeah, wonderful. So just read what's written here because this is where most of the CVs happen. Error, checking a typo, like she said, spelling mistake. And there are certain statements and you find out what is happening here. And the source is also written, graduate recruiters across the UK. Okay, now first question you can write on the chat box. One of my best skills is proofreading. What is this person saying? What word could this be? Who can tell me? Anyone can take a guess. One of my best skills is proofreading. Actually, the word the person wants to say is proof reading. See the typo. What is written here? So this is noticed and this is big. You go watch this video, you will see so many mistakes we made. I speak fluent French and Finnish. What word probably this gentleman wanted to write here? Who can tell me? Anyone? Spanish, yes. And ye hota hai. I have seen this in CVs in my career. What is the mistake? Who can tell me? अब मैं नहीं बताऊंगी. You guys have to tell me. Wake up, wake up, wake up on a Monday evening. I am anxious to use my exiting skills. Which is the wrong word here? Yes, Ruchika has got it right. Existing. Rather than that, it is written exiting. And they don't realize because they are in a hurry. Thank you, thank you. I acknowledge Banishita. I'm sorry. Banshita. So that will be Banshita. Banshita, Aditi, Guru, and Real 3, Shubham for the right answer. And we don't even realize that this happens with all of us. I'm a real perfectionist with an eye for detail. What went wrong here? Yes, I love this. Arpita, Devi, absolutely all of you are right. I don't have to tell this one, you all saw. Honesty. There are many. It's a long one. So did you get the picture? It's always about either the spelling error or us telling the person in front. Hello, am I audible? I don't know. Something happened. There was a shake. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much. So it's always about how many of you think that telling a person that I am I have anger issues. Let me go with this. I get very angry when people don't complete the work on time. How many of you said it? ऐसे बातों में इंटरव्यू हो रहा है and you are mentioned in your CV. Am I audible or not audible? Some people wrote yes and Satyananda has written no. I don't know. Am I audible or not? Audible. Thank you, Debashish. So when we write certain things, we have to be very careful about our honesty meter. What is it that we are talking of? Therefore, these 5 things, be very careful. These things actually they make or break your CV. My question was very simple. How many times in honesty have we said that, my weakness is, I get angry when people don't finish the work on time or something like that. Or I don't have patience for slow learners. We do that. In introspect of what I just shared, avoid being honest to that level of sharing such details. You have to be honest. Having said that, let's avoid being. Yes, there's something in the chat box. It happens, Subrita, because see, the point of the CV is to give a glance into your personality. Agreed? If Dr. Swati gets your CV, Dr. Swati should know who you are, right? At the same time, Dr. Swati should see you in your best color. What do we do then? What will you do if you have, I have a problem I'm sharing with you, where I would really lose my cool if, things were not done on time. I'll get very upset. So then I had to write. I have to tell somebody who's hiring me as a consultant to take care of their entire team or a director of a business school, which I was in the past. I just can't tell the board that, I'm a very happy-go-lucky person. I am not. So I am the director. I'm going to be their head. I'm going to run an institution. So I had to tell in a way where it is presented as a part of your personality rather than your weakness. So I used to say that I am a perfectionist. If there is some work given, I need the work to be done on time. And if the work is not done on time, sometimes I tend to be little impatient. How many of you found this to be weakness? This is just representing yourself. So in your CV, write things. You should never hide. If there is some part of your personality which is important for the job, represent it in the most categoric, positive manner. Should always be towards positive. So Microsoft Word or document, 1 or 2 page long, consistent formatting style, fonts and margin, bold key information, relevant information, and no fluff. As in something that you have not done, avoid putting it on your CV, because if you're called based on your CV and if you have not done it, then you may get into a soup. So if I get a CV, let us say that somebody has done this, somebody has done this, somebody has done this, then I may actually call you for that. And when you're sitting in front of you and you have fluffed your CV, we call it fluff or we call it exaggeration of certain things, you are definitely going to get caught, and it is going to be very, very painful for you as well as the recruiter to realize that the information shared were not true. Even this you can take a screenshot of if you all want, how your outline of your resume should be. And not all of these sections are always necessary. You need to have a heading, section titles, objective, education, experience, content, leadership or involvement in any projects, because mostly here we are talking of management, I would not call you students, but I would call you managers in making, and honors, awards, professional organizations, interest and references. You can always have your CV in this format, and whichever is applicable to you, go with that. If you look at 2 CVs I've brought of 2 people, about me, what is it? The education, professional qualification, and career highlights. Same name, whatever is, numbers given here, work experience, skills. So if you see, if you show this to anyone, if you give this to anyone, in one go, I know who am I talking to, what am I talking about. And therefore, I said that before I showed you this, that do not fluff. You can fluff, you can write anything that, okay, I did this, I did this. Usually we say avoid, because if the recruiter asks you a question on that, then you will be in a big trouble. There's something in the chat box? Your habits. Yes, good question. What habits would you want to put on your resume? If you don't mind my asking. Resume or profile, as we call it. What habits would you want to put there? Am I audible? Can you hear me? Reading newspaper. Okay. Okay. And how would reading newspaper be if I'm recruiting you to, let us say I'm talking of HR, okay? And I'm recruiting you to do a planning, then how is it beneficial for the organization you're reading newspaper? Always remember, give an information which helps. I'll show you. Good, you brought this. I think that is there or it's not there. Let me check. Whenever we give information, I'll show you something. How is it relevant is very important. Purchase. Remember all you keywords, okay? Just a sec. You can put your habits, how you're putting it and how you're making it relevant is what is the differential. Can you see this strip? This is again my profile. She is now keenly into NLP practices, application, human development, and education. And in one of my profiles, I had written that I'm into blogging and into reading about certain things, because for that profile, that was required. So whenever you're writing a resume, profile, CV, do mention what you want to mention, but at the same time, be clear that how is it helping? Are you getting me? I hope I'm clear. You can write your habits, and why will you not? But you should also be sure that if you're writing something and if somebody is about to hire you, that habit, how is it going to be of value to the other person? Because if it is not going to be of value to the other person, then you are just giving information which may divert them from the whole thing itself. So you do give the information, but also why are you giving them the information? How is that habit helping the organization grow or develop? Uh, does that help you to know how habits need to be included? You should be careful. The more information you give, the more the recruiter is going to ask you questions. So what wonderfully you can do is you can give the main information that is required. And yes, you can share your hobbies. If you think your hobbies are something that will get you a job, you have a space here. After honors and rewards, you can always write your hobbies, your areas of interest. How many of you blog? How many of you write a blog or have ever written a blog? Or you follow blogs? Either way. Okay. Pravanjan has written a blog or follows blog. Now that you can put it in your profile. Following blogs from movers and shakers, writing blogs, reading articles from Harvard Business Review. Now these are things that will capture a attention of a recruiter. So if I read that as somebody has written, keenly interested in what do I say? Reading articles from Harvard Business Review or following blogs of the movers and shakers, my interest will be piked as like, oh wow. So this person is reading blogs, this person is reading articles. Do include in a way that it only makes your CV stronger. So like you asked, so I said, now here you are. Some additional topic or options for heading: technical or computer skills, key training and skills, languages, study abroad, international experience, or any military experience, or any volunteering. You have ever been in a NCC, if you have ever been into any kind of thing. So you can add these things as optional headings. Now, how do we create? What should be the structure? What is education? Let us get all these things sorted out, because sometimes we get confused. What is education? What is experience? What should come in others? Education is everything that is related to your study. GPA, that is your degree, your minors, majors, whatever degree, academic honors, awards, related certificates, scholarships, international experience, कोई भी लाइसेंसियर्स किए हैं आपने, रिलेटेड ट्रेनिंग किया है, थीसिस और प्रोजेक्ट किया है, everything is part of your education. Summer and part-time job, internship, whether it's credit and not credit, or it is paid or not paid, campus involvement, self-employment or freelance, volunteer work, clinical work, practical work, everything will come in your experience. Clinical work we have kept here because for many NGOs, we do work like we go, we donate blood or we collect blood. Others में आपका आ जाएगा everything, awards, volunteering, training completions, any leadership experience, memberships and organization and related experience and skills. This somebody is scratching on the screen. Can you be a little careful, because I think that action is on where you can mark on the screen. I'll request the organizers to turn it off tomorrow. I mean, for the other professors who are going to come after me. Now, how many of you have written an objective on your CV? People who are here. Okay. And What do you think of before you write the objective for your CV? Sorry. Because resume mein objective is the key. It is the key. And if we don't get it right, the objective, trust me, I have seen in my days that somebody wants to do something. Objective is more related to the goal, the job. Why are you applying? What is the purpose of applying? What is the objective of you sending CV to Dr. Swati? Is it because you had nothing better to do? Is it because you thought, chalo, bhej dete hain? But it's the most important thing where a brief but specific statement outlining the type of employment you are seeking or applying for. So, objective of a CV is very important, my dear friends. How many of you have given thought while writing the objective? Because I think it all starts from objectives. So, from today, whenever you write, be clear on the objective, because that is definitely the thing that defines your CV. Because it's a brief but specific statement outlining the type of employment or exact position one is seeking or applying for. Then comes profile. So I'm giving you the difference between objective versus profile, which is at the top of the CV. Most of the time, what happens? You get confused between objective and profile or summary. Profile or summary details the strengths, experiences, interests, and skills that one has to offer the employer. So, objective is like the statement, what you are seeking while you're applying. Profile gives the detailed strengths, experience, interests, and skills that one has to offer as the employer. Some questions? Yeah, it's a 2-3 line snapshot. Perfect, Aditi. Perfect. Everything. You can put there, I'm a blogger also. Doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. I got a CV recently where the person had written that I'm a, what I written in the profile. After writing everything, he has written, I'm an avid watcher of business news channels. So you understand? When the person says I'm an avid watcher of business news channel, what came to my mind? Anyone can tell me? And second is, would you hire that person? If you are into data crunching and you are a finance recruiter, will you hire that person? Yes, that is where okay, Debashish is saying no. Wow. Why not, Debashish? If I am a finance person and I'm getting a CV where the person has written I'm an avid business news channel watcher, why would I not take that person? I would love to hear Debashish's thought on this. You can talk to me. I think you are allowed to speak to me. Or somebody said, don't talk to me. I think you all have been given permission to speak to me, right? Just give me a thumbs up if I'm right. Oh, you're not. No, you're not. You don't have the permission to speak to me. Okay. Okay, wonderful. So I asked you a wrong question. Thank you for telling me that. You are not allowed to speak to me. Are you allowed to give answers to my questions? Verbally or non-verbally? Now that is a better statement. Can you answer my question? Verbally or non-verbally? Okay. Thank you, Arpita. So, okay. So let me just speak because these are interactive sessions. You know, when we speak, we express ourselves better. So let me see what it is. Today is the first session with you. I have 3 more interesting ones coming. Hopefully, you will enjoy those too. So let us figure out. In the meantime, I'm actually very eager to know from the gentleman Debashish. You wrote no. What is coming to your mind, because you will be a recruiter tomorrow. So let me also understand your mind that if someone is following a news channel, a finance news channel, what would make you not to hire that person? Because in a day-to-day circumstances, I think we would hire. Or we can maybe have a conversation on this at the end of the session. So when I'm talking of objectives and profiles, how do you write your career objectives? How do you do it? Yeah, there's something in the chat. Oh wow! Whoever has a iPhone, lucky you. You have iPhone. I have only a OnePlus. That's a wonderful, wonderful answer. So career objectives examples for freshers. I don't know how many of you are freshers. How many of you have already been into jobs? How many of you have already, made CVs? But the standard we follow is something like this: seeking a challenging position in a reputed organization where I can learn new skills, expand my knowledge, and leverage my learning. So it's all about why are you aspiring? That is your objective. To get an opportunity where I can make the best of my potential and contribute to the organization's growth. Okay. So I got, again, wonderful observations, Subrata, and I respect your observation. You would not hire a person who watches finance related news channel because you are working in an IT company. So I should have been clear in saying that the person has applied for a finance job. Then what would you do? Would you still hire or not hire? Nice observations from the group. Clarity of communication. So I'm showing you something, and I'll also share the link with all of you. This is a wonderful website that we keep, like I said, I read blogs a lot. This is updated on November 15, 2022. So it's quite fresh in its aspect. Some of the career objective examples are given. You don't have to copy it from here. You can go here. You can read the career objectives. You can understand from there. So I'm pasting the link here. I don't know if you guys can copy, because see, we always need a guideline. So if you have to write an objective, a smart one, you can definitely go here, refer, and if you find the right one, I'll be more than happy. That it will help you out in creating something. Wonderful. Shatabdi, your point well taken. So these are two examples I brought, career objective examples. You can go to the website or create your own. Choice is yours. I just gave you one pointer to make your life a little easy. What is profile then? Can be called profile summary or professional summary. A summary of things that you have done. Gives overview and detail of who you are and what you have to offer. Makes the reader want to learn more. So it's your summary, your entire summary of who you are. So any questions till what we have spoken, be free, ask questions. Because for me, okay, Subrata, what do you want? Wow, this is a interview question, if I'm right, right? This is a favorite interview question of every interviewer. What is it that you want? And Subrata, how many times it has come to your mind that I want to be in the chair on which you are sitting in a couple of years? Just asking. Okay. Or I want to be the CEO of this company. Has it ever happened? Most of the time. Yeah, it happens. Let me tell you, we are going to have a beautiful session on interview questions. So I will not deviate and take away the glory of the person who's coming to talk on it. Is a very senior person, very, very well thought of, followed person, a very senior industry expert. He's going to take you through questions, interview questions, and it will be an eye opener for you because he's coming from the industry. So before we go further, is there any questions that you want to ask? You are free to ask. Okay. Okay, you're working with the company chairman. So what you want would be to become the chairman then. And you should. I don't know what is this closed captioning something. I don't know. Okay. Whatever, you guys are more attuned to technology than me. So any questions on CV, profile, anything that comes to your mind? Yes, ideally you should on the side somewhere, or the way I have put it in my profile, or on the top itself, or the two those I showed you, only for the reason that many a times organizations hire based in big cities. Email also, yes, you should be done. You have to follow and share with them all your coordinates. So again, I'm showing you my profile itself to bring the clarity on this. See, I have put my name, my address, my phone number, my email ID, everything in one go. It's there because they may choose to connect with me in whichever way. Idea is they should reach me, right? Yesterday only it happened. If you look at my profile also at the end, if you see, it's written mail, phone number, WhatsApp. No address is mentioned because this is a shorter version. The longer version I have mentioned. Yes, in your 4-5 page CV, you have to mention your 10, 12, all certificates. What to answer in why MBA? Okay, now you want to know the answers to your interview because now you have made the CV. Now I get it. CV banwa diya maine. Your CV has gone. Now you want to know the answers to the questions. Keep it simple and candid. Why did you do MBA? Why all of you are doing MBA? There's only one common answer to that I have seen, and it works always. And that is because you want to enhance your managerial skills. You can make your CV 2 pages also. Give one address where they can reach out to you. You don't have to clutter it with too many addresses. One where they can reach out to you when they need to. That's all. You don't have to write all the addresses. So now back to what we were talking about, to learn or study about management. So let me tell you something. The reason why most of us, I'm also an MBA, we do MBA is because we want to be able to manage the toughest of all resources out of all resources, and that is human resource, right? Of all the resources that we have on our hands, the toughest one to manage is human resource. And to manage that, we need to know how to manage people. And to do that, you need to know basic managerial skills. Does that help you? Okay. So where were we? Okay. So, okay. Gender, you don't have to write. Address, we mostly write because if there is an organization, I'll tell you one of the experiences I had. I was sitting for an interview of a very big organization. I'm not naming it, and we are in Mumbai. So Mumbai, what happens? It's a huge city with a lot of travel lag time. There was this CV which we all liked, and still the the main person or recruiter would not approve it. I said, why are you doing it? He said, because I don't know where this guy lives. If he's living in the other end of the town, my God, it will take him 6 hours to come to the office. So what's the point of wasting my time and his time? So therefore, it is advisable to give them all the information. You get that? The reason why we encourage, especially in big cities. And there is a second thing. Let me also share that with you. when I look at a CV and when I get to know that a person is living in a particular area which I'm very aware of, it brings a sense, sense of warmth in me as a recruiter. So जब मैं उससे बात करूंगी, for example, all of you I think are from Odisha. Most of you are from Odisha. I hope, I believe so. Some of you may be not from some places, but most of the surnames I think are from Odisha. Now you are working in Mumbai, right? You get a CV from someone. Okay, Subrata is given 95%. Subrata, are you a finance guy? You are just giving me numbers and I like it. So what happens when you get a CV which says, wow, I guess so. You are playing with numbers a lot. And when you get a CV and the person writes that, I'm from this particular town and you know that town, what do you feel towards that person? There's a natural warmth that's created. Yeah, ma'am, of course, Odisha. So sometimes writing addresses also have this factorization of where do you belong to. It's not a do and die that तुम्हें लिखना ही है. We advise. Choice is yours, how you want to create. There are hundreds of ways that you can make your profile, But we say make it in a way that it is the best. And it will just go through with flying colors. Does that help? Any other questions left unanswered? Let me just check. Okay, so where were we? Yeah, how to make our LinkedIn profile attractive. Next, I'm going to talk on LinkedIn only today. The next part of our discussion is LinkedIn. I thought once we are done with CV. Okay, ma'am, suppose we have written all the details in the CV. Wow. Okay. Wonderful question. It is just like, beta, have you really written everything in the CV? Is my question. Or have you written things which you know will have an impact on you? Let's genuinely answer this question. This is to the question of what else when somebody asks, what do we do? See, I also know that you have shared with me what is your most powerful point, right? So now I want to know what is it that you have not shared with? And trust me, it becomes very interesting because there is a question here which is the answer to your question. Somebody has very sweetly asked that, ma'am, maybe no, are you an HR of any company or a great trainer like you're doing now? I was introduced to you keeping in mind this session, right? So I was introduced to you as a trainer and an NLP master practitioner and a life coach. There is more to me. Let me share little about myself. So I started my career in corporate HR in the year 1999, and I was a corporate HR heading a media company till 2003. Then I took a break because by the grace of God, I was expecting my first child. After his birth, I went back to corporate HR in 2005 and again restarted my journey. It was quite different. So I started with another healthcare company as their head of HR. And then I took a break due to some family obligations. And then I came into teaching. So I said that I've spent the better part of my 10 years career hiring and firing people. So let me get into teaching. Let me make campus to corporate easier. So I went into teaching. 2009, I shifted from corporate to campus. And as luck would have it, within 3 years, I was the dean of a Mumbai University MBA college, and then I was the director. So I was again hiring and firing people. So as luck would have it, or as God would have it. So for 10 years, I was the dean and director of an MBA college of Mumbai University. I have written books on training and development, on leadership, and on competency management. I'm a certified independent director, women director to be on the boards of company. I'm on the POSH, committee of couple of companies. And I also play tabla and I sing. So this, I would not share with you if it is not the requirement of this, collegium. Because what happens? Yes, I know. So we only share what is the requirement at that point of time. So for your knowledge, my being a trainer was good enough to go. And now I make trainers because I certify people on many an aspects of training. So does that, I loved your question and I loved answering your question. If you're going to spend 3 more sessions with me, you should know a little more about me. And yes, I have a lot of tricks of cracking interviews better because I have so far as director of an MBA college, I have had more than 10,000 students pass with my signature. And as a corporate, I must have hired at least 5,000 to 6,000 kids just off campus. So maybe God has been kind in giving me those insights to share with you. Okay, so which media company, Sujata? I was the head of HR and training for the Bombay operations of Prasad Film Lab. You can Google Prasad Film Lab. They are one of the biggest filmmakers in India. Ek Duje Ke Liye was made by them, if anybody knows that movie. So that's me, the part of me which was not shared. Therefore, whatever we write on CV, sometimes we know there is something more that is to this child than what is written on the CV. And therefore, we encourage and we ask the question, what more can you do? Or what more would you want us to know about you? Does that answer your question? And I'm happy to be connected with such lively, interactive kids. I hope you are enjoying it as much as I am, because this is a very lively batch. Even with not speaking, you are able to speak so much to me. So if we don't have any further questions on CV making, can we just go ahead and talk on LinkedIn? Somebody asked LinkedIn effective, if you are interested. Anybody interested in knowing more on LinkedIn? No? What interests you about LinkedIn? And how many of you are on LinkedIn? Just give me one sec, just one sec. Okay, so as I always do, okay, Tanmoy is on LinkedIn, I'm on LinkedIn, I'm on LinkedIn, I'm on LinkedIn. I'm happy to say that at least there's some technology I'm following which you youngsters are following, because every time my son tells me that you are seem to be from the age of dinosaurs, you are just not anywhere. So I feel quite insulted, but then it's okay. I'm not on much on Insta, I'm not much on, I don't know what, Snapchat. So I think I'm a bit bad. Anyway, so let me show you first my LinkedIn, and then I'll show you LinkedIn of one of my students who I have taken permission from, because I'm very, very this thing that you should always take permission before. So this is my profile. Is it opening or is it not opening? Okay, so this is my profile. Just remember this, what I just showed you. Okay, so this is my LinkedIn profile. So even I didn't know I have so many followers. This is a news to me, and I'm happy I have so many followers. So all of you had a shot at this. Everybody saw there. Now I have a question. When you saw this, what came to your mind? Who am I? You don't know me. You just saw my LinkedIn profile. तो क्या आया बेटा आप लोगों के दिमाग में? Who I may be? Who would Dr. Swati be? Speaker, wonderful. Teacher, speaker. Just by seeing my profile, just that part of it. You have not seen the other thing. You don't know what is there down below. Just that introduction page. So that is what is the first thing about LinkedIn. If you want to have a smart LinkedIn, yes, everything, it's there, right there. You all know. But what you have to remember from today, my dear friends, is it is a tool for recruiters and a platform for making connections and performing job searches. These three are for you to remember going forward from today. LinkedIn is just not any social platform like any average. LinkedIn is much bigger. It actually gives you that edge to get in touch with your recruiters, to get in touch with people who are going to help you settle your career. So take it very seriously. And why should a college student be on LinkedIn? To get a job. First thing, to get a job. If you make your profile strong and accepting, you will instantly catch attention of the recruiters. And it's your job to make it easy for your reader to hire you. So you need to tell them how you can do the work they need you to do, and that you have the characteristics of their ideal employees. So LinkedIn is just not like, how many of you are on Facebook? Anybody here is on Facebook? You see, there is a huge difference between the two. Facebook is more like conversation off the record, for informal, formal. LinkedIn is very, very formal. Yeah, it is general. So somebody wrote to me that the person can't get my profile. I thought I was quite famous. Oh my God. Anyway, I'm just sharing my profile. If you want, you can visit. Okay, thank you, Debashish, for that. Gratitude, humble that you have that. So LinkedIn can be made your power statement in getting a job. How do we go? What do we do? Now, LinkedIn has certain things which makes it powerful. You can take a screenshot of this and read through, and we'll discuss. Just give it a read through, take a screenshot, and we will further discuss. Because after every point, I'll be showing you that student's profile for you to relate with what I'm saying. So this question. Thank you. Post the session, I'll be connecting with all of you for sure. So number one is, as you start creating or editing your profile, you create and edit your profile, right? Please turn off your notifications. It happened. One student was editing his profile and he did not turn off the notification. And in the middle of him editing, uh, his page got launched. Can you imagine, poor kid? He called up and he said, "Ma'am, I was still working on it." I said, "You should have at least switched off that you're editing." So you need to keep your edits when you're doing things off. Yes, Nishi, that's a good question. And I'll share again a very personal example. My son, he is in UK. He's just 18. And I'll show you something. He was never on LinkedIn because being an 18-year-old, who goes on LinkedIn, right? Fresh out of 12, he went to do his graduation to Bournemouth University, UK. And you will not believe, there, I used to tell him to make a LinkedIn, he never made. There, his professor told him that, Pratham, you need to be seen on LinkedIn. Because once you're on LinkedIn, you can post videos of you doing things. You can post, actually, I'll come to that also, Subrata. Where's the difference? You can post your work there and you can connect with the people of your own industry there. Send them a friend request. Their followers and their network will get to know that you exist. And in that way, in a very short time, you will be connected to the industry. So I'm showing you his profile. His name is Pratham. So because he's just started, so he's still working on his profile. Pratham P, VFX student at NCCA, that is Bournemouth University, UK. So this is what his professor told him that you need to do. Now, how did it help him? You will not believe, if you see this person here, Luke, this guy is from Bournemouth University, doing very well in the area where my son wants to make a career. Luke instantly connected with Pratham and said, see, I'm in London. We are looking for an intern over the May, June, vacation time of UK. Would you be interested? And he is now headed for an internship. Just because Luke was looking for a VFX fresher on LinkedIn, and through Pratham's connect, Luke found him. Then he spoke to Pratham's professor and he said that, so the professor's name is Andy. He said, Andy, is this guy your student? So he said, yeah, he's in the first year. So can I see some of the videos? He said, yeah, I'll send you. So beta, it works. It really works in networking if you are good at what you are doing. Now let me tell what is the difference between LinkedIn and Naukri. Naukri is where you just look at jobs. Hundreds of jobs are there. You are looking for a job. LinkedIn is where you create a network. LinkedIn is where a recruiter will go to see you before the interview. Trust me, recruiters are following your LinkedIn, profile. So many students I have seen getting rejected because their LinkedIn profile was not liked by the recruiter, because the minute they get your CV, they would want to check out your LinkedIn profile. And because you asked this question, though I was going to show it to you a little later, but I'll show it to you now. I'm showing you the profile of a student of mine. I have taught her, she's in some other university. So the online sessions, I have had the privilege of teaching her. And she developed her network. Can you see her profile? Just look at her. I mean, she's rocking. All because she could connect from one to other to other to other to other. I'll also bring back her profile to tell you that LinkedIn is all about network. And I have had the experience where recruiters, my friends who are all head of HRs now, because we've been in the industry for more than 20 years, have said, yaar, ye bachcha dikh to acha raha hai, but I can't find his LinkedIn or her LinkedIn profile. Or they have told me, yaar, yesterday I was browsing keywords and I found a profile which is very likable, but I'm not sure. Can we do a bit of more research? So going back to what makes our LinkedIn profile powerful, it is, you have to remember, start your great first impression with a professional photo. Professional, again, I hope you all get it. What is professional photo? You should have a professional photo. Your headline showcase your specialty. Customize your URL, make your profile look more professional and easier to share and be found by claiming your vanity URL. Write a compelling summary. Add your resume. Sorry, where did it go? Okay. Add your resume and rich media in your summary section. Now I'll take you back to my profile and I'll tell you exactly what do we mean here. Swati is the most common name. Agree? Every second person is a Swati. So what did I do? I put PhD CSR. So when I give out, I say just type for Dr. Swati PhD CSR. You're gonna get me. Make it unique. You saw this, you figured out I am either a trainer or a professor or somebody. You saw this and you could figure out who I am. And that is exactly what we are talking of in this slide. It's all about your headline showcases your specialty, your professional picture should be presenting who you really are. There are many articles and videos also that I have put in. I mean, I'll share later. So what is it? A strong profile is essential to your LinkedIn campaign. Create a very strong LinkedIn profile. It expresses the value you will deliver to employers. There are few basic tenets to follow when constructing a profile. What is it? It must be used in addition to your resume. Resume to aap laga doge beta, like Naukri you said. But then you are creating a profile. You are not copying and pasting your resume. So take time out to write about yourself. You have to write about yourself. You should use LinkedIn as a way to market yourself instead of simply posting your resume. Write something that makes the other person come to you. If you see this, Okay, I have so much to talk about. But if you see this, I have not just, posted my resume. I have written what is all that I can do. I have taken out time to create something. If you go and see, I have spent time in posting things, posting, and if you look at my about, which is what I'm talking about, just read this. It encompasses everything that is important. This is not just me picking up and posting my resume. So your summary has to be very strong. Your about has to be very strong. Whatever you really want to talk about should be there in your about. Did you get that? Your profile has to be really, really strong. Just don't cut, copy, paste your resume. It must show employers your value. What are your accomplishments? How are the accomplishments relevant to your industry and occupation? Does it include the accomplishments you have listed on your resume? It's very important. In LinkedIn, we have a particular section. Where did my LinkedIn go? You see, this is about, this is experience, this is my education, these are my licenses and certification, and this is skills. What have I put as my skills? Training, employee engagement, human resource. So there are 20 skills that I have picked. And now this part, my dear boys and girls, is what makes the difference. Recommendations. What recommendations have you got from people? This is what I'm talking about when I say make it matter. Make your LinkedIn profile, and you will not believe I have got messages from across just based on the recommendations I got. One recommendation I got, let me also share that with you, which is just this gentleman. He's into cloud computing and all, and he has reached out to many corporates, India and abroad. So he had mentioned an amazing teacher and mentor to many students. I had completely forgotten the word mentor here. And trust me, today I'm mentoring 3 people because they reached out, because they read that. And then they said me on LinkedIn, ma'am, could you mentor us? I said, where did you hear about me? And then I'm mentoring. And no, ma'am, we read on LinkedIn, he has written. So your recommendations also become your key to getting, work, getting acknowledged. हमें क्या लगता है ना बेटा that it is okay, who even reads? People do, and they seriously read. We may think they don't seriously read, but they are very serious. They read and they respond. I got so many messages for mentoring. I was like, what do I even say? I mean, how do I even deal with this? So you have to make your LinkedIn work, make it strong, put all the accomplishments. It must show your personality. Write your profile in first person point of view. Showcase your writing style. Please use it, my dear boys and girls. Write in first person, write everything that you want the world to know about you. Don't shy away कि लोग क्या कहेंगे. It's okay. It's a favorite thing ना. You also must have got on WhatsApp. बहुत बार joke आता है ना हमें. अगर हम सोचेंगे कि लोग क्या कहेंगे तो फिर लोग क्या सोचेंगे. So just let it be. It doesn't matter. You showcase yourself. Show the best face of yourself in first person. Share with the world what you really want to do. And there is a word I say, represent yourself. Don't sell yourself on LinkedIn. Represent. हाँ, लोगों का काम है कहना. But the point is, बेटा अगर हम ये सोचने लगेंगे तो फिर उनका टाइम तो खराब हो जाएगा ना. लोग क्या सोचेंगे? लोगों को सोचने दो. Give the best foot forward. Put the best foot forward. But don't oversell. If you look at my profile, or if you look at, I think I can share Dr. Dash's profile. This is the best. If you look at him, also, nobody is overselling. He's just sharing what he wants to share. So you share, you represent, don't sell. Problem happens when we start selling ourselves. Then the person who's reading kind of gets bored. And it must be complete. We have a background image, a headshot, a headline, a summary, detailed work experience, education, and skills. please go and fill up all the sections. The reason being that when we fill up all the sections, our LinkedIn profile is complete and it is more visible, smartly visible by our possible recruiters or network. So I have a question here. How do you connect with people? I mean, if you are on LinkedIn, what are the kind of people you have sent friend requests? Sorry, connection requests to? How do you decide whom to send a connection request? No? How do so I'm speaking to you send a connection request to me, other than mostly HR person. Okay. Okay. So from whom we can learn something that connects. So every time if you think if you had sent me let's say a friend request uh, without me sitting here and talking to you, let me be very honest. You think I would have accepted? What are the chances of me accepting that friend request? Sorry, connection. Okay, colleagues and interested companies, PA or HR person. Let me tell you something, kiddos. Make your LinkedIn profile very strong. And the best way to connect, I'm giving you a tip again. Start commenting smart comments. Don't just write, wow, amazing, because that's okay. People, when they post something, appreciate it. That is the quickest way of getting noticed. I'll just share something with you. Where am I? Okay, I don't know. Did I close my LinkedIn? I think I did. Let me get back to my LinkedIn and I'll show you what actually works. So there are some of people who are influencers. You know, people keep on writing, keep on doing stuff. I'm just showing you something. Okay, this is Charita. I think her students have liked it, so I can. Okay. Now I'm showing you how you can build a network. So this is a colleague of ours, Charita. Like I'm a mentor to her. So she recently joined a new organization in Hyderabad. Can you see? There's some of them are students and they have congratulated because she's showing in my network. Are you getting me? Many times what happens, I like a post and then these students whom I have trained earlier would comment on that post. What happens? Your footprint is increasing. And I'm just sharing another link. Whenever you guys have time, you read it. And this is an eye opener on the power of LinkedIn. These are pure statistics of how many people are getting hired every minute through LinkedIn. And these are pure statistics. This is not me writing something. This is there in an open domain. So every minute they say 8 people are hired on LinkedIn. That is because it is now becoming one of the most powerfully, what do I say, authentic source of networking, because your work is there, your profile is there, everything is there for a person to see and know you better. So you must complete all the sections. Now this, can you choose which is professional and which is not professional? Is this side professional or is this side professional? Which one? I think you would vote that this side is professional. Yeah. Yeah. Post pictures like this. Avoid pictures like this. When I wrote professional, I said, I'll show you at every step what is it that you can post. So these are professional pictures. These are not. These are personal pictures which are not going to help you in your LinkedIn profile. Then this is a summary. Can you all read through this? I'll give you 2 minutes, 5 minutes. Read through it. And then I'll guide you on to, yes, there's a question, there's something. Yes, it is. It is very useful for freshers. I'll tell you where it helps the freshers. If tomorrow you apply for a job, my dear, and if you put in your LinkedIn, okay, there we have this nowadays in CVs, social media, and they see that I'm just talking about myself. Like I said, I always prefer talking about me rather than any third person. And they see, oh, Dr. Swati is there in their LinkedIn. Oh, Dr. Dash is there in their LinkedIn. Oh, this kid has followed this reading. Oh, this kid has commented on this article. Oh, this kid has, you know, given their viewpoint on something. You think you will be hired even if you are a fresher? Yes or no? Yes. You are creating your social media footprint, my dear. आप खुद सोचो बेटा, how many times will you sit in front of a person and tell, oh, I know that person, I know that HR, I know that HR, and how easy it is to just go to a person's profile, right? Check out the person's profile, and okay, so this person is also following that HR, this person is also following that HR. So it works, provided you make a very good profile. It is not only about whom are you following and whom you are commenting on, it is also about what are you displaying to the world. It is very important. I'm showing you Pritish, I don't know, Pritish profile. There's another very nice profile of a youngster. I'm just showing you profile of people of your age because and your background who are just freshers in this field. And you will see how your mind, if you go and you check out that person, suddenly you are like, oh, this is a person I would want to hire. Just show you. She's my student. She's very good now. She's very well placed. She's in one of the best organizations. I'm unable to find her profile. I don't know. I would have loved to show. And she had applied for a company. And when the recruiter went and saw her LinkedIn profile, the recruiter found two people common. In LinkedIn, we have common connections. So he spoke to them and he asked that, do you know this girl? He said, yeah, she's from this university. And how do you know? Okay, Dr. Swati की student hai, who's which university, and she's connected. It was just a casual talk. Then I straight away got the call from the recruiter, and he's asking me, do you know this girl? I said, she's one of my students. So she said, okay, and what is your take on her? I said, she's a good student. I mean, she was good. Should I hire her? I said, why not? Hire her. And it happened for her. I found her. I'm just sharing. So she's from Bhubaneswar only. So just look at her profile. Just look at the beautiful way in which she has written open to network. And this kid is like amazing with her activity. She would always like what I have posted. She would always comment. So somebody has posted and she sees that, okay, this guy has so many followers. Are you getting me? And she would go and she would like it. She's just expanding her network. So it works. It definitely works. Like I was sharing, this is a summary. Like I showed you my about and hers about. This is another summary you all can see, relate to. You can read it. Like I said, I'll give you a minute or 2 minutes. And remember, you can take a screenshot also. I don't mind because these are well researched things. So if you want to take a screenshot, you can take a Any questions on summary from anyone before we go to experience? No questions? Wonderful. Now, how do we put our experience? Okay, there's a question. All clear. Wonderful. Can I share my favorite joke with all of you if you don't mind? You will have to give me the permission that, yes, ma'am, please share the joke. Okay. I got, it's very interesting. I'm sharing the joke. So whenever my students, they tell me, students, or when I do a corporate training online, offline to utna maza nahi aata hai because you are in a big room with so many people. Online we are closer. And they say there is no doubt, we have understood everything. I said, you know what, there will be only two things. Either I am a very good trainer and facilitator, or you are sleeping with your eyes open. So mostly the vote goes to the first one, because nobody wants to say they are sleeping with their eyes open. So if you don't have any doubt, either it is the first one or the second one. You can go with your own version of whichever one. So let us talk about experience. Put the relevant one first. Here we talk the relevant one. आप जो चीज represent कर रहे हैं. Okay, there's a question. Let me get to the question before, otherwise the person will be stuck. Ma'am, while hiring, do regular and irregular MBA matter? Beta, are you talking about full-time and part-time? Distance learning? I hope that's what I thought is what you're saying, right? Okay, let me specify something to you. If your syllabus is well covered, what a student is learning being in 2 years full-time classroom, and there is a student who's only taking sessions, distance or on the weekends, or we call as executive MBA also. In this part of the world, in Maharashtra, we call it executive MBA, because probably you're already working somewhere and for other reasons. It all comes down to the reputation from where you're doing. For me, I'll give you my example from this part of the world. I wouldn't want to give an example from your part of the world because, I haven't studied the institutions of Odisha that well as of now. But if I get a candidate who's from a regular B school of Mumbai University, who's from Mumbai and full-time, and I get a candidate who's a distance, who has done this distance learning program or a weekend program or an executive MBA program from Symbiosis, I would hire that one, the distance learning, and I've done it. Reason being, number one is the quality of the institute for me. Because if I know somebody has done from some place, then I know the person must have learned the best. Second, again, is when I'm going through the LinkedIn or when I'm going through the profile, what is it that the student is offering me? And many a times, even today, I'm telling you, I have gone on to hire a distance learning person from an institution over a full-time. It all boils down to your presence, your profile, your learning, and your attitude. Ask. You can scribble it down. It all comes down to ask. Attitude, skill, knowledge. If your CV is giving me that, if your network, LinkedIn, is giving me that, if you have liked all the wonderful blogs and articles of your domain, you are the candidate for me. And this is a genuine thing I'm sharing. Many a times it happens due to some office policy or due to some things, people only want to go in for a full time, but those are more related to their policy mindset rather than your talent mindset. Wherever it's an open domain, people would take you on. Therefore, we say your LinkedIn footprint has to be so powerfully strong that the person would not look whether it's a full time or a part time or a whatever time. The person will just go ahead and hire you. Does that help you? Does that answer help you at all? Because there are many people I know who are exceptionally successful, who have done from TASTE, Symbiosis, Sydenham, all part-time, because they were working. But what has helped is their profile, their knowledge, right? And of course, their presence on LinkedIn. I always go and I check the LinkedIn footprint. If a person is not there in LinkedIn, I'm like, which world is this person is? Because the person is not following the right people. The person is not following, what is happening in the real-time world. So how is this person even getting the information. So trust me, it is not from where you have done it. It is what is it that you have done and how are you displaying it to the world. Because trust me, all you guys and girls here, it's all about, what shows sells. आप जो चीज दिखा सकते हैं, that will sell. And if you are unable to, then the person definitely, nobody would take you on. Now, if the person doesn't know what you're doing, will a person take you on? They won't. So this is a secondary thing. Primary thing is, how are you representing yourself? Does that answer your question? And I hope it helps you. So let us get back to our LinkedIn profile, to the company name, the description, add relevant rich media wherever there is a technical report or image or posters or videos. Never shy away from sharing them. Just share them. हाँ, मधुस्मिता, I love that. जो दिखता है वो बिकता है. Absolutely. But sometimes क्या होता है बेटा? Overselling kills, it really kills. So उतना ही दिखाओ जितना सामने वाला पचा पाए. I hope you get it. I said it in Hindi. So only show as much as it is required for the other person to accept you. Sometimes people oversell and that kind of puts you off. It kind of puts you off. So I've just brought a sample of how do you put your education, Michigan Technological University, your degree, your expected graduation year, field of study, your minor or your major, your grade class, everything you can put in your education. The rest, fill in the fields that are not directly relevant to your field. So you can put your volunteering opportunities, organizations you have been with, honors and awards, test scores, awards you have received, publications, patents, सब यहाँ पे डालो. Put everything. Don't shy away from sharing what you have done. I'll share something which, yes, I'll answer that, Madhusmita. How many of you would write, I'm very fond of animals and I love dogs. So I take care of, street dogs. And I'm just sharing with you, one of my friends from HR, she's a huge animal rights activist, And she just called a person for interview because of that one line he had written. I take care of stray dogs. She said I could just vibe with him. So anything that you're doing, you think is, how many of you know that nowadays something which is very strongly coming up is your social footprint? What is it that you're doing for society? Trust me, it is the next biggest thing recruiters are looking at. What is it that you're doing for the society? So if you have done a blood donation, or you have been to an orphanage or an old age home or planted a tree or saved a stray dog, please mention. Please mention. So Madhusmita has asked, is it necessary to write in sophisticated words? What, Madhusmita, according to you, would you say sophisticated words? I mean, if you can just elaborate a little. Because sophisticated word would be what, according to you, when we are saying sophisticated words? Not just simple words. Oh, okay. So you're saying fascinating words, right? That's a good one. Let me show you something now that you've asked. So I'll just show you something interesting. Where am I? There. Okay. So this is a post. Okay. I'm showing you one of my posts. So this is Mangesh sir had written something which is very beautiful. Let me like it. I didn't like it before, but having said that, look at what I have written. Thanks for sharing, Dr. Mangesh sir. Very enlightening. The simplest of words, right? And I have 161 impressions. You don't always have to use difficult words. And even sir has used the simplest of words. He has not used, if I may go to the original post and show you that also. Look at the simplicity of his writing. Very simple words. Very, very simple words. So you don't really have to make it complicated. And if you go to the profile part of it and you're asking if we have to use big words, I'll again show you my about. My about is as simple as it gets. I mean, anybody can understand, right? Simplest of words. All my posts, if I show you all my activity, if you read any of my posts, I use the simplest of words because I want everybody to understand. Yeah, you look here, simple words, always. Simple is beautiful. But I'm using a but here. If you are writing in simple words, it should carry the message. The message should not be lost. But you don't have to write in a very complicated, fascinating jargons. लिख दो कि आदमी dictionary खोल के बैठ जाए. Don't do that. Don't do that. And I know she will not mind me showing. Let me show you Gaurika. She's a very close friend of mine, a TEDx speaker, head of HR, and a very dear friend of mine. I'm showing you, just can you hold on just 1 second? Hello. Yeah, I'll tell you that. Before that, let me clarify on how beautiful a simple message can be. So Gauri is an amazing person, best friend, you can say, both of us. She's an influencer. She's written a book on networking. Just see the simplicity of her words. Can you see? Very simple. And she's written a book on networking. She's an influencer. I don't know, Gauri has how many followers? I mean, I think 53,000 followers, and she's crossed the lakh of connections. And just go and see Gauri. I think we have already completed 20 years. So just go and see some of the influencers better. Use simple words, use powerful messages. That's what we say. Simple words. Nobody should go and look for a dictionary. So what I'm talking about, what is your profile priorities? Top fold. Ensure your headline describes exactly who you are, including your specialties, and that you have a professional photo. Summary. The first line should tell your reader who you are, what you want, and how they can contact you. After that, make sure your summary is more of a story that answers, tell me about yourself. Why do you do what you do, and why do you love it? Tell about your aha moments. Remember to describe the accomplishments you are most proud of. Experience. Make this functional, not chronological. Include relevant work and projects that describe your hands-on experience and make them know you can do the work. Some tips. Work
Here
on
are
it.
2 great videos with even more information.
So I'm sharing 2 videos with all of you. आप लोग free time में you can access it or not access it. Choice is yours. My job is to give you an insight, leave you with some learning, and I'll keep on showing you in all my sessions. I'll mostly be sharing my inputs and thoughts. So the link didn't come, kya? Okay, I'll have to share the link. How do I share the link? Link to share kiya tha? Just a minute. I mean, you can put it in on YouTube and get it. I don't know why the link thing is not coming. Copy link. Let me post it for you. I know. The link should be there. This link is not coming. Now I think it has come. You can read this because it will definitely help you re-emphasize on the power of LinkedIn and how you can make LinkedIn a tool that drives your entire journey. So now I think the learning part is done. Any questions you can ask me before we will close with another video. Any questions? I'm right here. You can ask me. No videos, no questions. I'm happy to know. Okay, wonderful. No questions from your end. Eager to go home? I don't know. You guys are at home, I believe. Just any questions that comes to your mind, you can ask your professor. Just give me a minute. I'll show you the last video for the day, and then we will call it off. Just one second.
Asking for career advice. मैंने सोचा क्यों ना कुल ही sarcastic नहीं.
How many of you know Tanmay Bhatt? Okay, there's a question or something. Good night, Aditi. How many of you know Tanmay Bhatt? Anyone here knows Tanmay Bhatt? I don't know. Even I didn't know. Anyway, I think the video is having some issues in running. Maybe in the next session when I come, I'll show you the video. For now, if there is no question and with the permission of your professor, we can always call it a day. If there's any questions on LinkedIn or how to make a profile, you can always connect with your professor, and I'll be more than happy to support you in your CV making and profile making. So is your professor there? I mean, he was there, I think, most of the time for the session before I call it a day. Dr. Rashmi, you're there? I think Dr. Rashmi is there.
Yes, ma'am. I'm here.
How are you? Yeah, good to hear
I'm
you.
fine, ma'am. I'm fine. How are you, ma'am?
As usual, on top of the world.
I was there throughout this session. It was really
Oh,
a
is
very
it so? I'm so
powerful.
blessed.
Yeah.
Thank you. Gratitude. So I'll be
actually,
missing them for 3 more sessions, I believe. No, what happened today is suddenly Dr. Dash was called for a very urgent meeting.
yeah.
He knows that I'm always the fallback mechanism. I said, okay, let me come on board.
No, that's not the issue. The issue is he trusted, he trusted on you like.
Oh,
like
he
how
does.
to do.
He does.
That was the issue.
I'm blessed. You know, when your
Yeah.
guru trusts you, it's the biggest gift that you get.
That is absolutely, and I'm I'm being very happy that you are sharing so many things. Like Jo Dikhta Hai Wo Bikhta is actually the real face of this world.
Yes.
And I always say to a student that try to sell yourself and
Exactly.
prepare yourself like a selling material.
Absolutely. So
Right.
I always tell the students, because today was about LinkedIn, which is social media.
Yeah.
One thing I'll tell you, all my friends who are still here, that it is not about, many people have asked me that, is it about faking? It is not about faking. It is about telling what you are good at.
Yeah. That is true.
Many
Absolutely.
students, you know, professor says, like, ma'am, I said, if you can cook well, then say you are an excellent cook. That's all
Yeah.
I can say.
Actually, whatever qualities you have to show
Yes,
it off.
you have to
And
show it
no
to the
one
world.
came to at your home to ask that whether you are good in this or
Absolutely.
good in that.
Absolutely. So thank you, Professor Rashmi, for giving me this opportunity again.
And
It is
thank you, madam.
always
It is
wonderful
always my
connecting.
pleasure. You came to our university for our distance learning students, and you
Always around.
enlightened their knowledge with your all informations. I'm really feel
Thank you.
blessed,
My
ma'am.
pleasure. I think we have a question. If you don't mind, can I take it from Hangout?
Yeah, please.
Ma'am, if we are interacting with the interviewer, how to impression the interviewer without reading the CV, like personality, attitude, and behavior, except these things? So are you saying how are you going to impress the interviewer beyond what is written on your CV? So let me tell you something about interview. Your interview starts before your interview. Let me give you that insight. Mostly, even for freshers nowadays, when I take an interview, when you are waiting in that waiting room, people are observing you from the time you enter the building. Remember that. How you have interacted with the security, how you have spoken to the, receptionist, how you have spoken to the office boy who may have offered you a glass of water. Everything is being observed, because nowadays it has all become about a world of empathy. of humane connect. So your interview starts the minute you enter that office building. And from there, the interviewer starts calibrating you. Trust me. Once you enter the interview room, remember this forever, I'm telling you. Walk in straight with your head, head held high, because the minute you enter, you are being calibrated. Remember, you are not being judged. बच्चे आप लोगों को लगता है आपको जज कर रहे हैं, वो जज नहीं कर रहे हैं, वो आपके टैलेंट को, आपके पर्सनालिटी को कैलिब्रेट कर रहे हैं. एंड द आंसर दे आर लुकिंग फॉर इज हु आर यू बियॉन्ड योर सीवी. बी इमैकुलेटली ड्रेस्ड. अगर आपको टाई ठीक करना है, गर्ल्स को दुपट्टा ठीक करना है, कंघी करनी है, कुछ भी करना है, प्लीज गो टू द फ्रेश रूम एंड डू इट. It was very embarrassing once. We were sitting, an interview was going on, and I had just stepped out to take a call. And when I'm coming back, the girl is combing her hair right there in the reception. And I was like, I was amazed. And my impression there was like, what's this girl even doing? Does she not understand the simple decorum of doing certain things in the right place? To do the right things at the right place. Thank the person who's giving you water. Thank the receptionist who has asked you to wait. Wish the door person. Go to the fresh room if you want to comb, you want to touch up your makeup. Have your file ready. Do not fumble once you sit down. Kaun sa paper kahan hai? Keep everything ready. Your CV on top, your experience letters, if any, in chronological order, if any other NGO letters you want to show. So what we say, that be in that moment of interview. CV to beta bahut baat ki baat hai. By the time you sit down, look at each person individually and wish them, not just the person in the middle and other person they can go. So you have to look at everybody there, wish them, and be in that moment. Does that help you, my dear? I can't even say my dear hangout. I would love to know your name. Your hangout is cool, but it's also something I wouldn't want to call someone with. So be in that interview situation, physically as well as mentally, and it would do wonders for you. I hope that has answered your question, my dear hangout. Thank you for asking that question. You're most welcome, Dheeraj. Lovely to know your name. So I think we can sign off, Dr. Rashmi, if there are no questions, and let them go and have a good time, dinner time. God bless
I just
you all.
have to announce.
Sure. So I will just log off, and you please continue with your. Thank you, Professor.
Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Thank you. So students, this is Dr. Rashmi ma'am. And as you can see in your chat box, you have a Google form. And it is mandatory to fill the Google form, because at the end of the session of this 10 days class, we will give you a certificate, e-certificate from Utkal University, that you have attended this webinar and program. So might be it will be helpful for all of you in the future. But for that, the attendance is mandatory. So fill this Google form, what is there in the chat box, and try to submit it before 10 p.m. After that, it may be closed. And after that, it will not be working. So your attendance, you might be missed. Fine. What is the password means? Don't understood what is the password means. I didn't get it. No, I think there is no password is required. Check your system, because I already checked, there is no password is required to fill this Google form. Okay, from this point, yes, Ronak, want to ask something? Ronak, you're from PG Diploma Banking? You are from MBA Banking Finance? You just raise your hands, but you are not, chat, not giving any chat with me. So what to do? Yeah, Ronak, I know, Ronak, we will take your case consideration. We'll talk. I will talk to you later on. I will talk to you. Don't worry about that. Okay. Okay. Thank you so much. Have a nice day. Not nice day, but nice. Good night to all of you. If I drop this Google form in your group, then there might be those who have not attended this session. They will also fill this form. So sorry to say that the form is available in this chat box only. So you have to cope up with this system. And thank you so much. Good night to all of you.